I see it as my personal duty to assist our government and advise them intimately on these new technologies that we know are rapidly advancing and changing the fundamental nature of how we live our lives.
Welcome to How I AI, the podcast featuring real people, real stories, and real AI in action. I'm Brooke Gramer, your host and guide on this journey into the real-world impact of artificial intelligence. For over 15 years, I've worked in creative marketing, events, and business strategy, wearing all the hats. I know the struggle of trying to scale and manage all things without burning out. But here's the game changer, AI. This isn't just a podcast. How I AI is a community, a space where curious minds like you come together, share ideas, and I'll also bring you exclusive discounts and insider resources because AI isn't just a trend, it's a shift. And the sooner we embrace it, the more freedom, creativity, and opportunities will unlock. Have you just started exploring AI and feel a bit overwhelmed? Don't worry, I've got you. Jump on a quick start audit call with me so you can walk away with a clear and personalized plan to move forward with more confidence and ease. Join my community of AI adopters like yourself. Plus, grab my free resources, including the AI Get Started guide, or try my How I AI Companion GPT. It pulls insights from my guest interviews along with global reports so you can stay ahead of the curve. Follow the link in the description below to get started. Today's guest is Chairman John Bowdre. He's a global civic leader, executive director of the Miami-Dade Digital Commission, and candidate for the mayor of City of Miami. And he's here to talk about what it means to prepare cities for the future of money, AI, and trust. Chairman Bowdre is not just thinking about the future, he's running to build it. He's also a member of the Miami-Dade Crypto Task Force and head of the county's Digital Commission. His big idea? That AI and blockchain aren't just buzzwords. They're tools that help cities run smarter, safer, and more fairly. Today, we talk about how digital wallets, Bitcoin, and decentralized systems could give people more power over their money and identity, and why cities need to get ahead of this tech shift and not fall behind it. He shares how he got into crypto in China, what he sees coming next, and how we can use new tools to protect the people, profit the city, and prosper the citizens. But before we dive in, let's connect some dots on why this topic matters. This is an AI podcast, and I'm talking about Bitcoin and blockchain. Well, as AI agents begin making real-world purchasing decisions and automating transactions, blockchain becomes the trust layer, the system that verifies ownership, identity, and transparency. This is why conversations about wallets and Bitcoin aren't just about money. They're about accountability in the machine era. Financial systems, the way money moves, gets stored, invested, or tracked, are being rewritten as we speak. Not just by politicians or by bankers, but by machines. Artificial intelligence is already being used to detect fraud, move money, and make financial decisions faster than any human ever could. But the twist is, these systems don't explain themselves, they just act fast. And that creates a serious trust gap. So how do we keep these AIs honest? Blockchain acts like a public ledger, a record book anyone could read, but no one can erase. When you combine that with AI, you get something brand new. Machines that can be held accountable. Every action they take, every transaction they make can be verified, traced, and explained. It's already happening. Just this summer, the Bank of International Settlements released results from a pilot project where central banks tested how AI and blockchain can work together to track cross-border payments. They cut fees, slashed processing times, and proved that decentralized systems could offer real-time transparency. Meanwhile, companies like Coinbase are giving AI agents their own crypto wallets, so they can buy, sell, negotiate, and even vote in decentralized organizations. The future isn't just AI managing our money, it's AI managing its own. That's where Bitcoin and crypto enter the story. Because machines can't open checking accounts. They can't apply for credit cards. Traditional finance was built for humans, but cryptocurrency changes that. With a blockchain wallet, an AI agent doesn't need permission. It can hold funds, run smart contracts, and interact with financial systems directly. Bitcoin and crypto are also programmable, borderless, and fast enough for machine logic. AI agents can use crypto to pay for services or computing time, buy more data, execute contracts, and most importantly, blockchain gives us an audit trail, a permanent public log of what an AI system did and when. That's how we make these systems trustworthy, not by slowing them down, but by watching them work. So here's the big picture. AI is becoming a new kind of actor in the world, and Bitcoin is the money it can actually use. That's why this topic and episode matters. Because if we don't think about these things now, if we don't build AI with a truth layer, we risk building a system that's fast, powerful, but totally unaccountable. All right, let's dive in. Here's my conversation with Chairman Bowdre. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of How I AI. I'm your host, Brooke Raymer. Today, I have a very esteemed guest. He is the cryptocurrency chairman and is running for mayor in the city of Miami. We are together here at a conference today in Miami learning about artificial intelligence, and I had the very lucky opportunity to interview you. We're going to be speaking about the future of financial technology. Welcome, Chairman.
Thank you so much. It is an honor and a pleasure to be here.
Yes, let's open the space. I love to just give the floor for you to introduce a bit about yourself and how you ended up where you are today.
Oh, okay, excellent. How much time do we have? Well, I'll keep it brief. I'll give the brief version. So I'm Elijah John Bowdre. I'm the chairman of the Miami-Dade County Cryptocurrency Task Force and the executive director for the Miami-Dade Digital Commission. And so I started here in Miami approximately probably 8 years ago. I started off coming in from Hong Kong, actually. I lived 9 years in China, and I came in with the Miami World Center. And so I created the compliance systems for that multi-billion-dollar development located downtown Miami. And prior to that, I was in China working on something called EB5, or basically like a foreign investment visa services for many of my clients and friends on the mainland of China. My background is I'm from Long Beach, California, but I attended Florida A&M University in Tallahassee. Go Rattlers. After college, I moved to New York to Wall Street and was working doing hedge fund private equity sales. And I was there during the best of times and the worst of times. When I was there, the Dow had just reached 14,000. Everything was lovely. But then the next year, about 2008, credit markets started to tighten, the spreads started to tighten. And I lived through and observed from a front row seat something called the global financial crisis. I like to tell people that in that same cauldron, that same fire that kind of ended my career in New York and pushed me out to China was where Bitcoin was formed and was birthed and launched. And so that was around the 2009 time. I met Bitcoin in China in 2012. After leaving New York, I went and started up a joint venture on the mainland of China with my Chinese partners. Shout out to 我的朋友们，他们是中国加油啊，好呀。
I was going to ask, do you speak Chinese?
Yes, 对，我会说中文。
Wow, that's incredible.
Yes. And I made my first $1 million at 24 years old, running my business, a partnership in China. At that time, it was easier to make 100 renminbi, or the Chinese currency, than it was to make $1, obviously. And so doing this, I've shipped over, I was sourcing materials. So I've shipped over 1,200 different SKUs from mainland China, metric tons of specific ocean to approximately 40 ports around the world. And so one of the clients from America, they wanted to get some things and they didn't want to use money, and traditional money. They didn't want to use dollar, they wanted to use Hong Kong dollar or the renminbi. They didn't want to use traditional credit or dollar denominated credit facilities. They wanted to use something new, internet protocol, secured, encrypted, called Bitcoin. And I was kind of like, Bitcoin, like, what is that? I had never heard of it at the time. So I thought it was like a scam or what have you. It wasn't to my partner, Evan Rice, shout out to Evan Rice, that's my partner to this day, who had checked up on me to ask about that deal. And I said, everything was good. But when it came time to settle, they were talking about some Bitcoin. And he stopped me and he red pilled me on the spot. And, or orange pill, as we like to say now. He talked about a distributed ledger, Satoshi white paper, about the peer-to-peer cash, right? And so I'm like, okay, if you believe in it, I'll get to using it. And so I set up the trade and I began to. And when I did, I had an epiphany that this small technology that is small in price now is about, less than $10 at the time, would eventually take center stage and eventually herald the things that we see now. And so it was my job to get into it, to make money from it, but be in a position to help usher in the mass adoption for this excellent technology. And that's what we actually proceeded to do. We created a Gem Vault coin, which was our basically digital luxury online pawn shop. We did precious stones and jewelry. So X diamonds and gold. Take your ruby necklace or your grandmother's emerald ring, and we have our insurance company. Our Allianz was our insurance, and Malvani was our custody. Take the information, upload it, tokenize it, and boom, offer you liquidity for your illiquid luxury asset. But we also began doing a lot of white papers. I've written several white papers for zero knowledge proof systems, Singapore, for clients out in the Philippines, all prior to coming back to America. A good friend of mine's Arthur Hayes. Shout out to Arthur, the creator of BitMEX. I remember when he sat down and was looking for about $250,000 to start some company called BitMEX. But I purchased my first 10 investment Bitcoin from him, and that changed my life. From that time, I came back to America with an investment of probably about around $500 million from Hong Kong into downtown Miami into a project called the Miami World Center. And so I was tapped to do the compliance. So I've created the compliance from that system. And coming back to America, to Miami, was like a eye-opener, a reverse culture shock. Right? I spent 9 years in China, traveling to around 30 countries, visiting around 40 to 50 cities in China.
Wow.
So I went pretty deep there.
Yeah.
Had a fantasy of a time and several different amazing experiences. But the experiences of the global financial crisis, doing international business in China during its rise, as well as coming back, really emboldened me to bring what I learned to America. And at the time when I came, it was really nothing, nothing officially for Bitcoin or blockchain or crypto. There was several BitLords, what we call them. There's about 6 to 7 individuals that were here, like Erica Gemma, like Praveen, like Chris Marshall, and several other luminaries as well, who were talking about the blockchain. And so when I arrived, we, kind of almost instantly found each other and connected. But I was the kind of government person, right? So my experience doing the compliance for building that system and running it took me all over Miami, from the high billionaire boardroom meetings to the actual departments and committees that, manage those funds and allocations to the community that it eventually went to help provide jobs or to provide funding for crucial programs such as the Lotus House or Camilla's House or the Overtown Youth and Children's Center, and so on and so forth. And so my experience here in Miami has been one that's like a movie.
Yeah.
Before my very eyes, from that time of December 8, 2012, working with this little obscure currency in China, doing trades, traveling around, to being the highest ranking crypto public official, being also the author of the state bill for Florida for virtual assets and digital currencies, to creating the first crypto endowment in Florida. About 3 years ago, I gave $150,000 to my university, Florida A&M and Tallahassee's, in Bitcoin. And today that endowment is roughly $600,000 now. And wrote the ordinance for the crypto payments for here in Dade County, and had initial conversations with our wonderful Mayor Francis Torres, regarding the blockchain, regarding Bitcoin. It's been one of the greatest honors of my life to be a resident of Miami during the burgeoning time of blockchain and seeing the transformational force it's had in the world.
Yes.
It's out in America, but it's out in our people.
Yes.
And so that's how me and Jonathan, the creator of the collective, linked, was having a similar view of the future and the possibilities, but having the actual tenacity and having the creativity and the boldness to go after it. And that's why I'm so grateful and thankful to be here with you to share my story. I really appreciate it.
Wow, you make that really tough for me to want to choose where to start because that is what an epic story and transformation from China to the States, back to Miami, to all the work that you've done, which, by the way, I went to school in Tallahassee as well.
Okay.
I went to Florida State.
All
So
right.
we have,
Excellent. Yes. Shouts out to Florida State. Yeah, definitely.
so wow, so fortunate to be in China and experience this rapid technological advancement very early on and kind of position yourself in that financial tech space in the very beginning when it was really hitting. So my first question of the day for you is, what was it like to be in the midst of the spark when financial tech and cryptocurrency and Bitcoin was in the beginning? And at what point were you like, okay, I'm paying attention, this is going to be big?
Well, initially it was difficult and scary.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
say I was using Bitcoin when we didn't want to use it.
Mm-hmm.
I said the initial introduction was from some clients who were like, "Hey, we want to, get your services. We heard you can source things in China." I'm like, I made a lot of money in China. I lost a lot of money in China too. I had a lot of money stolen from me.
Wow.
Yeah. But so I went through the whole kind of China adventure, right? Which is kind of fitting because when I first decided to go back to China, it was from being laid off from Wall Street because of the global financial crisis.
Mm-hmm.
And I told people that, I did a study abroad there, prior to graduating and coming to Wall Street, made some connections there. And I was like, I could feel that that's where the future is.
Mm.
Right? And so I said, I'm going back for treasure and adventure. I had a lot of success there. In addition to doing sourcing, I also got involved with bringing over professionals, their companies and executives, signed some major deals, then started actually bringing over students. And to date, I've brought over about 450 students from America to China with my nonprofit, the Global Citizens Community. Fast forward to being in Hong Kong, I was a deacon at my church in Hong Kong, Union Church. Shouts out to Union Church, getting into leadership and communications trainer, and actually some historical events that have happened in Hong Kong. I've kind of been in the background for training, media training for the police chief and his council of 13 ministers during the Yellow Umbrella, we'll call it movement, right, or demonstration.
Oh.
I was actually training the police chief and his council on how to deal with the media, how to stand in place, how to speak and project. And in the backdrop, I was working with the Bitcoin, the blockchain. I was a part owner of a bar in Lai Kwai Fong in Hong Kong. And it was on the second floor on Lai Kwai Fong. And on the first floor across the street was a bar called the Bitpoint. And in there, they had the first Bitcoin ATM that we have in Hong Kong. It never worked, but we would meet there every Tuesday and talk about.
What year was this?
2013.
Oh, wow. I feel like I'm only just now starting to see Bitcoin bars and Bitcoin ATMs in 2013.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I was doing zero knowledge proof systems, white papers for the Philippines and for Singapore back in 2014, 2015, right?
Wow.
Before officially moving to America. And so that's kind of how I had the boldness or the leverage. And so me having a whole life, me and Arthur Hayes co-hosted the 2014 Blockchain Expo of Hong Kong. Two African-American guys hosting this blockchain expo in Hong Kong, right? That's so very powerful experiences. And so coming back here, I was like, I'm like, okay, I need to start getting to work.
Yeah.
And that's what I proceeded to do. I went to countless bar mitzvahs, quinceañeras for past county officials. I was on the Millennial Task Force and Millennial Advisory Board for past county mayor Jimenez, Mayor Jimenez. And so I watched the different processes of Miami-Dade County and in the city. I was also the Overtown Community Oversight Liaison. And as you know, Overtown is one of the hardest hit economically areas, but also rapid rejuvenation, we call it, but call it gentrification at the time. There's a lot of investment to kind of eliminate slum and blight for the area. And so I went from city and county, from programming to policy, all the different systems in Miami. And I started to kind of permeate and say, you know what, Bitcoin's coming, crypto, but the blockchain is needed in our government systems. And so I kind of casted this vision that we needed to make Miami the crypto capital of America. And to do that, we're going to need more than me just going and taking my laptop to, the Paris city vice mayor's bar mitzvah, my laptop, setting up his first blockchain wallet, selling them their first $100 of Bitcoin. Like, hey, this is coming, or convincing them we needed legislation. We needed actual laws, rules to help usher it in and to start that integration, right, to cement it. And so in 2020, I wrote something called the Blockchain Board of Miami-Dade County, and it went nowhere until FTX, came in. And many of the affiliates are part of, obviously, the crypto community, the global crypto community.
Yeah.
FTX was actually headquartered or based out of Hong Kong, right? And so they agreed to pay $135 million for the naming rights of the arena. This is about $95 million more than what American Airlines paid just 20 years past.
Wow.
So that sparked the interest of the county to say, wow, how do these crypto nerds have so much money? We need to investigate this. And then looked at the docket, and they seen, my bill. Like, well, blockchain is a little too broad, and a board is a little too permanent for this new thing. But we're interested in this cryptocurrency, right? And so we're going to create a task force. And shouts out to Commissioner Danielle Higgins. She is the one who drafted the Cryptocurrency Task Force resolution, which was passed. And then I was unanimously elected as its chair.
Okay.
Just to give a little context
Congrats.
of that, thank you. Thank you. Little context, I had some heavy hitters on our task force. We had members from Facebook's Lyra program, from Uber, from BitStop ATMs, and even Dan Stabile, who was the leading attorney for Tether at the time. He wrote the book on crypto legislation, right? And he was an attorney who taught it at Law School.
Wow.
They elected him as my vice chair. And since that time, I've spent about $410,000 of my own money as the Cryptocurrency Task Force chair, and now transitioned into like the Cryptocurrency chairman, which is taking on more role of being the resident young guy explainer of the new technology, which includes AI, cybernetics, and quantum computing as well, which are coming down the line. I see it as my personal duty to assist our government and advise them intimately on these new technologies that we know are rapidly advancing and changing the fundamental nature of how we live our lives.
How I AI is brought to you in partnership with the Collective AI, a space designed to accelerate your learning and AI adoption. I joined the Collective and it's completely catapulted my learning, expanded my network, and showed me what's possible with AI. Whether you're just starting out or want done-for-you solutions, the Collective gives you the resources to grow your business with AI. So stay tuned to learn more at the end of this episode, or check my show notes for my exclusive invite link. Yes, I started paying attention to cryptocurrency and learning about the blockchain and Web3 once I started to read that agents were starting to make purchasing and buying decisions on our behalf. Agents are talking to other agents. This is where a lot of the future of our automation systems are going when it comes to artificial intelligence.
We are rapidly creating the different systems, the nodes to usher in. And you are right on the cutting edge of that. And so that's why I commend you. And I'm a big fan of everything that you do.
Thank you.
I want to support it because, you're building the future and you're helping the rest of our people, our citizens, our loved ones, our family to transition into something that's super important to everything that we do. Crypto, Bitcoin, is the money of that web world. And the interactions that are going to be more frequent between the AI agents is going to use their crypto as a proxy for the physical world, but increasingly more and more prodigious, more and more actually relevant to what we do. So the absolute imperative is that we understand all the different elements, right? How they can interact with each other and how they will impact us ultimately.
Yes. So that brings us to where we are now in current day. What do you see changing in the next handful of months? It's October now. We're in Q4 of the year. What an incredible year 2025 has been. I think we're going to look back on 2025 and see it as such a major turning point.
Absolutely.
So what's next and what do you see happening right now? What is next and what's happening under our noses right now? Because you're in the thick of it and some of us might not even be paying attention and realizing what's happening right now and where are we headed in the next year, 2026?
Well, I like to say that we're in the crypto city, in the crypto year. I'm a crypto chair. I'm running for the crypto mayor of Miami.
Crypto mayor.
So just to put that shameless plug in there, our amazing mayor, Mayor Francis Suarez, helped to cheerlead, market, and basically bring international and national credence to what we've been doing on the ground and what we've been doing legislatively and politically and governmentally for the blockchain, crypto, and Bitcoin. And so I'm going to take that torch and take it to the next level, all right, where Miami is the ground zero for a technical revolution. Miami is closer to the White House than Washington, D.C.
How is that?
Yes, I'm glad you asked. Because as Miami goes, Mar-a-Lago goes. And as Mar-a-Lago goes, the rest of America goes, right? And so this is the crypto year because the crypto community elected the crypto president, right? And this administration has done everything possible, even things that we couldn't even think about, right? To really fast track or to catch up and ensure that America is in the lead in this crucial, pivotal industry and technology for the world. And subsequently, we have the crypto legislation that has started, our Genius Act, market structure, and the SPR, Strategic Bitcoin Reserve. In addition, there's been different legislation for the allowance of 401ks to get into cryptocurrency, as well as protecting the rights of different crypto vendors and crypto companies, encouraging the robustness and development of it under America. It is crucial that America maintains its technical supremacy in order to protect our dollar hegemony. Right? Creating new pathways into our dollar-denominated systems, our financial systems, is a race against time, right? But something that's a crucial element in order to show leadership to the rest of the world, but to maintain leadership. So this year is critical and pivotal. It's very important too because Miami has a lot of challenges. You know, it is the home to FIFA now as an organization. It's a global organization. Next year we have the World Cup that is coming here. Next year we have the G20 Summit that's coming here as well. It's home to the second homes of centimillionaires on the planet. But also it's number 4 in poverty and income inequality. Over 50% of our residents qualify, or 60% qualify for some type of housing assistance, either partial or full. We have almost 50% of our residents spending nearly 30 to 80% of their AMI or their annual median income on transportation and rent and housing security. These things are challenges that we must face. We have everything that we need to do anything that we want. And us, myself, yourself, Jonathan, the collective, we are the ones standing in the gap or in the forefront of that, pulling together the elements and tying them together to make that bridge into the future. My job here is to ensure that anyone can be affluent in Miami, but that we make it affordable and efficient for everyone. Right? My plan is to unlock enterprise efficiency for public beneficiary. I'm not a Zoran Mamdani socialist. I'm not a super capitalist. Right? I'm a blockchainer. I'm a technologist. I'm a futurist. But I'm a person. I'm an amateur politician, but I'm an expert public servant. And my ethos is that what is this technology's mission, if not to improve the human condition? Because what really counts, no matter what, is how we help each other, how we connect with each other. Only what you do for people matters. Only how we help one another counts. And so I am resolved to dedicate my life, my money, my time, my focus, my skills, my network, to ensuring that we achieve that future with this awesome technology that has come down and that can save us all, does not end up in the wrong hands or end up coming online in the wrong way that can enslave us all. November 4th, it is imperative that everybody vote Bowdre, Bowdre, for mayor of Miami. We're going to move Miami forward into the future.
Amazing. That was just a beautiful way to end. And I feel like that's probably the most important key takeaway moment that you wanted to share, or if you want to just share with listeners on how they can reach out to you and connect.
Absolutely. So you can go to my Instagram. It's Chairman_Bowdre, like bow tie and Dr. Dre, Bowdre. Also my website, www.bowdre, 4mayor.com. That's Bowdre, 4mayor.com. I need your help. I have international business experience, finance experience. I'm a municipal operator at the policy level, a community programmer at the very most intense area. I watched for 8 years Mayor Francis Suarez, and I'm ready to lead Miami. We cannot miss this opportunity. And I humbly ask for your help. And I'll also tell you to stay tuned into actually AI, right? And learn, stay abreast of it, because not only can it help, our city, but your own family and your own self, right? This is the most intense time, all right? And we recognize that we are peering over the precipice of a paradigm, preparing to pioneer a new path, realizing that the physical world can only be accepted as first, and our digital reality can no longer be denied at last. The tectonic transitions caused by technology's position, with the prodigious potential to transform every tier and class. So we've been entrusted this vision, so that with prudent decision, may Miami be multiplied by this immutable map. And that's why I, Elijah John Bowdre, Chairman of the Miami-Dade County Cryptocurrency Task Force, Executive Director of the Miami-Dade Digital Commission, solemnly swear to always espouse to emulate the benevolent idioms of this beautiful, immutable, forever ledger. To be transparent, to be distributed, to protect the private and promote the public, to rule by consensus, and to be immutable with my word, so help me God. This is our time. Vote Bowdre for mayor, November 4th.
This is our time. Such beautiful last words. Thank you so much, Chairman. I appreciate you. Take care. Yeah, thank you. Wow. I hope today's episode opened your mind to what's possible with AI. Do you have a cool use case on how you're using AI and want to share it? DM me. I'd love to hear more and feature you on my next podcast. Until next time, here's to working smarter, not harder. See you on the next episode of How I AI. This episode was made possible in partnership with the Collective AI, a community designed to help entrepreneurs, creators, and professionals seamlessly integrate AI into their workflows. One of the biggest game changers in my own AI journey was joining this space. It's where I learned, connected, and truly enhanced my understanding of what's possible with AI. And the best part, they offer multiple membership levels to meet you where you are. Whether you want to DIY your AI learning or work with a personalized AI consultant for your business, the Collective has you covered. Learn more and sign up using my exclusive link in the show notes.